Have you ever looked at a function and wondered, what values can I put into this function? Or what values can come out of it? If yes, then you're about to master domain and range in the simplest way possible. By the end of this video, you'll be able to identify the domain and range of any basic function with confidence. So all that being said, let's get into the video. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the first time I'm across this channel. Here we make mathematics, statistics, and physics easy. So feel free to click on the subscribe button to join the learning community. This particular video is divided into 4 sections. Section 1, we'll talk on the introduction of domain. Section 2, we'll talk on the introduction of range. Section 3, visualization of domain and range using real life scenarios. And lastly, working examples. So ensure you don't miss any of this section. Watch videos to the end to get the whole tutorial. So now, section 1. What is domain? What is domain? Think of a function like a machine. Just flow with me. So we have, let's say, like a machine, or better still, think of a function like a car. This is our car here. Don't mind the drawing. So we have our car here. Take this car as a function. You put something into the car and it gives you an output. The domain is simply all the possible input values that can go into the function. What does that mean? This car now, we say this car is our function. What our domain means is all the possible inputs. Maybe if this car has 4 seats, so all the possible inputs that can enter inside this car, all the possible persons that can enter inside this car, that is our domain. Domain is simply the input. What can the possible input that can go into a function? That's what domain means. For example, we have f of x equals to x plus 2. This is a function. Sorry, this is a function, right? F of x equals to x plus 2. We can substitute x equals to 1, x equals to 5, x equals to minus 10 into this function, and the function will still work. Check it out. If x is 1 here, meaning f of x equals to 3, the function works. X has 5 here. 5 plus 2 is what? 7. F of x equals to 7. Function still works. And minus 10 to give us minus 8. The function still works. So for this particular function, our domain equals to, because there's no number you put here for x, there's no input you put for x, that the function will be indeterminate or undefined or mathematical error. Sometimes your calculator will show you a mathematical error. So there's no number for x you put in this particular function here that the function will be wrong. If you put 0, 0 plus 2 will give you 2. It's still correct. So meaning our domain here is from minus infinity to infinity, because there's no function of x you put in this particular, there's no number or there's no input for x put in this particular function that the function will be wrong. That's our domain here is all real numbers. This thing means all real numbers from minus infinity to positive infinity, meaning all real numbers. That's the domain of this function. This is what domain simply means. Domain is simply the input that the function can take without making it wrong. Let me give an example now. If I have a function here, f of x equals to 1 over x, right? We know that if you put x here as 0, this function will be undefined. So meaning the domain of this particular function now is all numbers except from 0. That's what domain means. The input you can put into a function, that the function will still work. That's what domain just means. Now, section 2. Now you understand better when we start solving more examples. Section 2. What is range? What is range? Now, since domain is what? All possible inputs that can go into a function and the function will still work, from what we said in section 1, Range is the opposite of domain. Range is all possible output values produced by the function. Domain is the input, the one the person is entering inside the car, while range is the output, what the function produces. Range is simply the inverse of or the opposite of domain. Now, for example, f of x equals to x plus 2, right? If x can be any real number, then the output can also be any real number, because this is the same function we used for our domain earlier, right? And we said that if you put x as 1, as 5, as 10, as 0, 20, any real number we put, the function was still correct. So meaning our domain there was any real number. So now, if our domain here for this function is any real number, meaning our range too is also all real numbers. I don't know if you understand. Yeah, we say the domain is what? All real numbers, because if you put x as 1, 0, 2, minus 1, minus 3, the function still came out correct. Since our domain is all real numbers, our range too also all real numbers. If the input, because you cannot input 5 and expect to get 10, whatever you input, that's what you will get as output. So since our domain here was all real numbers, our range here is also all real numbers, meaning our range for this particular function also minus infinity to positive infinity. Now, section 3 of this particular video, visualizing domain and range. So section 3, visualizing domain and range using real life scenarios. Right, section 3 now. Imagine a vending machine. For those of us that don't know what a vending machine is, so let's say this is spelling vending machine. This is what we're using for our real life scenario. So now, most of us have seen it in the movies. Vending machine is that machine that has snacks inside. It's like a rectangle. It has snacks, and you have to insert a coin than to give it out to produce snack. It's made out of snacks inside. Then you put a pen in your coin inside the machine than to give you snack. That's what a vending machine is. So just imagine the vending machine in your head so you can flow with the scenario. So now imagine a vending machine. The snacks available inside the machine is the range. Why the coin or the money represents the domain. So flow along. So the coin, which is your money, you put it inside the machine. That is your input. As I said earlier, the domain is input. So your coin, you insert it inside your vending machine. This is the vending machine. Diagram is very bad. This is a vending machine. This is your snacks. This is where you can insert your coin. Yeah. So if you insert your coin, your domain in, an output comes out, which is your range. One of the snacks comes out. So that is what domain and range means. Domain input, insert your coin, then it produces a snack. When the vending machine produces a snack. So your coin is your domain, while the snack itself is the range, because is the output. The coin insert in is the input. That is what domain and range is. Now, the last section of this video, which is working examples. Let's solve a few examples. So section 4, working examples. Working examples. Example 1. Consider a function f of x equals to x squared. Find the domain and range. Domain is what? The input. While range is what? The output. That's the first thing that's what's come to your head. Now let's think together. This function now, if you put 1 square is 1, the function works. You put 2 square will also work. 3 square will also work. Minus 2 square will give you 4. So it all gives you a correct function. If you put 0 square is 0. if you put minus 4 square is 16. So no matter the real number you put here, the function will be right. So automatically our domain, which is our input, is equals to minus infinity to positive infinity, meaning all real numbers. Because no matter the number you put, whether negative or positive, the function won't give you a negative sign. So now for your range, which is your output, and for your range, your output can never be negative. So what does that mean? For me now, we said it's all real numbers, right? And the smallest positive real number is 0. So automatically your range starts from 0 to positive infinity, because your range can never be negative. It's always, your outputs are always positive. You cannot have a negative output. So since you can have a negative output, from minus infinity is gone because it's negative, and the smallest positive number is 0. So therefore your range for this particular function is from 0 to infinity. Now, example 2, f of x equals to root x. The domain for this particular function equals to, now let's think again. Domain stands for what? Input. If you put 2 here, the function is correct. But if you put -2 or -4 or negative of any number, if you have a wrong function. If you point it to your calculator, square root of any negative can't work. It give you a complex number. So meaning our input, which is our x here, cannot be negative. Cannot be any negative number. Has to be positive number. So therefore our domain for this particular function is from 0 to positive infinity. Domain is actually very, very easy. I repeat, this is a square root sign. You can have a square root of a negative. If you calculate or try it, square root of any negative number, it will tell you math error. What does that mean? Meaning our input here for this particular function cannot be any negative number. It can be from 0 down to positive infinity. That's why we said our domain here is from 0 to infinity. And now our range, which is what? Attribute. And since square roots are never negative, range is also from 0 to infinity. Now, these are your quick tips for your exam. Quick exam tips. Check whenever you're finding your domain, check for square roots. So tip number 1, check for square roots. What does this mean? Meaning if you check the function has a square root, automatically you know that the input can never be negative, because square root of a negative number is math error. So once the function has a square root, know that the particular input cannot be negative. So you can easily find the domain. So check for square roots. Quick example tip number 2, check for fraction. In finding your domain, if there's a fraction, like we said earlier, 1 over x, like this, you know that the denominator can never be 0. The input here, x here, can never be 0, because 1 over 0 is undefined, right? So from there, you can easily find the domain. So check for square root, sorry. Check for square roots, check for fractions. Ensure the denominator is never 0, like what I just said now. Check for any restriction given in the question. Now for your range, look at the possible outputs. Look at the possible outputs. Use graphs or table when necessary to make it easier for you, but I don't like using your tables. Just focus on us. You can use your tables to bring out your possible outputs for your range. Then you identify maximum or minimum values. And that's how you find your domain and range. If this video helped you understand function better, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it to your friends who struggle with mathematics. Comment below domain mastered, and see you on my next video. Bye.